cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet. I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers.
Welcome to Ending the Stupid Gender War. This show is only for intelligent, mature, non-doom-scrolling people only. Subscribe and share this video with everyone you know, and let us go ahead and begin, shall we? Alright, so it looks like today's topic is body count. Now, I know we've talked a lot about body count in this channel, you know, kind of periodically, but not really. It still remains kind of a not talked about subject, but a very much talked about subject in today's world nonetheless. So without further ado, let's go ahead and tackle body count from a slightly different angle today, because it is that important apparently. Alright, so for the women, for the body count disclosure, that's right. So that's what makes this angle different. Should you be revealing body count? Is it really that important? And from a couple standpoint, not from the topic of body count itself, okay? That's what makes today's show different as far as the topic of body count. Okay, so women, for the body count disclosure law, they call it a law because they're being a little bit exaggerating here. Men have to stop acting like my sexual history is their business just because they're uncomfortable. Well, it's not, you know, it's not about business. It's about, you know, pattern recognition. How many previous partners have you had? Sure, if you guys love each other, like I said, I'm not going to make the whole topic about body count itself. I mean, to each their own. But yes, it is, in a way, both of your guys' business as far as being honest with each other. You know, if you lie to your partner saying, I don't have a high body count, and I wouldn't even use the phrase body count. I mean, I would just say a lot of previous partners, right? But if you guys want to be hip to the modern, go ahead and say body count. I just cringe a little bit when I hear that. Yes, it's important, but it's not that important. Because if you've been with a bunch of failed relationships, you know, people in the past, it means that you're not really doing good in that track record, right? But if you've been only with a few people, it didn't work out as well, you know, it could be equally as bad, but it's not as blatant. So it's more forgivable, in other words. But does it really matter as far as it's none of your business? That's a little bit of a negative attitude. Yes, it is, because your past has a lot to do with your present, and maybe history is going to unfortunately repeat itself for your future. So it is your business, both of your guys' business. Not from a judicial standpoint. You know, like, well, you've been with XYZ, a number of partners. It's not going to work out. Well, you don't know that, but I mean, let's face it. Most likely, it probably won't. If you have such a high body count, it just means that you're not even really thinking. You don't have your head screwed on straight. So it is both of your guys' business. So the women here, you don't have to put it on a billboard how many previous failed relationships you've had, what's your body count. But when you're speaking to somebody who's potentially going to be a lifelong partner for you, yes, it is their business. Understand? I mean, if that makes you uncomfortable, then you're not ready for any serious long-term, lifelong, potentially, relationship. You're not. Because you have to be disclosing all of your business to each other. That's the way it's going to work. You have to establish trust. You don't have to go over every single little minute detail. But my goodness, yes, it is important. What are you talking about? You didn't get to demand a number and then judge me for it. Yeah, you see, that's what we're talking about. To your new potential partner, he's not going to judge you. He's just going to make a well-informed decision based off of your history. Because if you totally suck in the realm of love, and not in a good way, with so many failed relationships, he needs to know that. He does. Otherwise, you're being dishonest from the get-go. It is his business. Because you are trying to get with him, and he's trying to get with you into a serious, potential, lifelong relationship. You don't get to ask, yes, he does, and then use the answer against me later. No, he shouldn't. Because that's what being mature is all about. He's not supposed to tell anybody else your body count, and you're not supposed to tell anybody else his body count. Maybe he has a low body count, and a lot of guys are shamed for that. Oh, he's still a virgin. He hasn't been with one woman yet. He's only been with 2 women. Ha ha, he. It's not funny. Actually, he's doing a great job. Not as a virgin, by the way. But if he only had a few partners in the past and he's trying to get it right as soon as possible, that's a great candidate. That's a good man right there. Because he didn't have to go sleeping around with a bunch of bimbos and failing in all kinds of relationships to get it right. That's a retard. That's a failure right there. He doesn't know what he's looking for. And the same applies to the women who have a high body count. You just don't even know what you're looking for. You're just goofing around. So your new partner needs to know that. Are you a goofball? Or are you somebody really trying to make it work with as few, past number of partners as possible? So yes, it does matter. Men have to understand that this disclosure demand isn't about honesty. It's about control. No, it's not. We already went over that. You want to know if I'm worthy of you. No, it has nothing to do with that. It has to be with your track record as far as who am I literally and figuratively getting into bed with? Who are you really? Are you somebody that I can take seriously? You might be worthy even with a high body count. I don't know, but you're going to have to prove it one way or another. And often it's multiple ways because you're not trustworthy with such a high body count. You need to be honest about your body count. You don't have to go over every single little detail as I said before, but oh my goodness, yes, it is important. And that means that you're worthy to be mature to the next potential partner in line. You want to calculate my value, there's no way of doing that. Based on decisions I made before you existed. Once again, there's no solid criteria for judging you. Nobody's judging you. They're making an informed decision. That's not judgment. You can go ahead and go sleep with 100 more men for all I care. But what men are trying to ascertain is, are you trustworthy according to how many people you've already been with? What's your track record like? It's just like anything else, I swear. That's just the way it works. Because is he just another number getting in line to be another schmuck, another gullible idiot who's going to fall for your next failed relationship, in line? Of course it's his business. He's not there to judge you. He's there to make an informed decision, based off of your past decisions. Women have to carry enough shame. No, you don't. No, you don't. What kind of shame? Shame around our own bodies. How do you feel ashamed of your own body? And how do all women feel ashamed of their own bodies? There's nothing to feel ashamed of. Without men turning our past into a job interview. It's not a job interview. All right, sister, you got to really chill out. It's, if you think that getting into a potential lifelong relationship, a new relationship in general, is a job interview, it's not a job. If you feel like being a partner to somebody is like a job, well, then you're not in love with that partner, are you? You see how stupid you're being? So it's extremely immature to treat each other. Oh, it's my job interview. Like, stop it. If you need a number to decide if I'm valuable, the problem isn't my body count, it's yours. No, the problem is your negative attitude here, because, value, like if you have a high body count, let's say, because high for me is probably not high for the next guy. So high for me is probably like more than 5 guys in your past, like serious relationships, or just sleeping around even. That's getting high from me. Another guy might say 10 previous partners. Another guy might say 20. But it has nothing to do with value. It has to do with whether they are mentally and emotionally comfortable with that number, with that threshold that they get to determine. Because everybody's different. Everybody has different thresholds. So it has nothing to do with value. It has everything to do with, can I trust you based off of your track record? And it's not a job interview. Because think about it. If they're trying to, find out if you're worthy in that sense, right? That you're good enough, potentially, to maybe, hopefully, last an entire lifetime together. Those are precious years of his life and your life. Understand? You guys are both trying to determine if you guys are right for each other based off of your guys' previous track records. What are your promises like now? Where's the proof that you're not going to fail again and that you're not just the next number in line? Yes, it's both of your guys' business. So stop bitching. All right, so women against the body count disclosure law. Women have to be honest about why we're so defensive about this. If our past is nothing to be ashamed of, why can't we answer the question? Yeah, just answer the question. Obviously make sure that he's trustworthy with such information. Because a lot of women, they'll complain, oh, I told him my body count and now he told all the guys about it, whole entire football teams. Well, that's your fault because you trusted somebody that you shouldn't have trusted with such information. You see what I'm saying? You're just rushing to the next partner in line with such sensitive information. That's your fault. You got to learn who to trust in this world. You can't just go off telling guys such sensitive information about your past history. Why can't we answer the question? Women have to ask themselves if the outrage is about privacy or about wanting to hide things we know would matter. Yeah, it does matter to a certain extent, your body count. Some men have deal breakers. Yeah, it could be a deal breaker. Be like, nah, she's not serious. She's hot. She's great now, but I'm just probably most likely the next guy in line. The next guy in line that you'll make false promises to. Oh, I promise to be the best wife in the world. Yeah, you probably told the previous 20 guys the same thing. You see what I'm saying? Some men have values. Women have to respect that. Just like we expect them to respect ours. If you slept with 50 people and that matters to him, he gets to care. Exactly. You don't have to answer, but he doesn't have to say. Women have to stop calling every standard insecurity. Sometimes it's just preference, and preference is allowed. Absolutely. Look, are you the one for me? Let's say my threshold is wacky. It's just like, okay, you've been with 50 guys. You had sexual intercourse with all 50 of them. And I'm okay with that because of how you are now, and I trust you, and I have faith in you. That's my threshold. That's my preference. I'll say, you know what? Sure. Yeah, okay, let's see if we can make this work out, You don't have to forgive her for being with so many men. It's just like, that's not a problem for you. But for somebody like me, that'd be a big problem. I'd be like, look, you seem like a great gal, but I don't know. I've seen women like this before, and, maybe 1 or 2 of them let me down in the past with high body counts, and I'm not ready for a strike 3. You see how that works? All right, so let's go ahead and shift gears to the men here. What do they think as far as for the body count disclosure law? Men have to know what we're getting into. That's what I said. A woman's sexual history tells us about her relationship with intimacy, with commitment, with her own body. Yes, how mature are you? How serious are you taking the concept of love itself? What's your track record like? Seriously. It's not a job interview. It's just, being honest. Men have to make decisions about marriage, about family, about trust. That's the key word here, trust. You can't just say it doesn't matter, when science and experience says it does. Higher numbers correlate with lower relationship satisfaction, higher divorce rates, more infidelity. That's the biggie right there. Men have to protect their futures. We're not asking to shame you. We're asking to know who we're giving our lives to. That's what I said. You're investing your lives to each other. Don't even waste not even a quarter of a year with this type of garbage. If you can't answer, that's an answer. And men have to act accordingly. Absolutely. So we covered that. I'm all for that. To each their own. It's important information, Such as, another important bit is, if you're religious and I'm not, if you're too heavily involved in politics and I hate politics, you guys are going to end up clashing in the future. It's inevitable. I'm tired of hearing about your stupid God. And then, I'm tired of you not believing in one. You see how that can be a problem? What are we going to teach our kids? Religion or no religion? Get into politics or not? Should they go to college? No, I hate college. And our kids will not go to college because no, they will go to college, because it's just all these conflicts that you need to know all of that. It is your business. All of it is. So don't take offense and act like an immature retard. All of it is important. And that's just the end of it, Against the body count disclosure law for men here. Okay. Men have to stop pretending this is about values and admit it's about insecurity. Okay. You don't want to know her number because you're worried about compatibility. You want to know because you're scared you won't measure up. No, that's entirely false. What are we talking about here? Measure up how? To be the next sucker in line? You're scared of comparisons. No, that's not it, buddy. If I was the next guy in line with a woman with a high body count, I'm not scared of her previous partners, and if I measure up to her, those relationships obviously failed. So I'm supposed to be better than them? Then, hey, tough luck. If I'm not, if she deems that I'm not worthy to be the next potential candidate, well, then that's her decision. It works both ways. It's a two-way street here. All right, so you're scared she's had better. Men have to own that. No, they don't. It's not about competing with previous failed relationship partners. To say that is extremely immature. It really is. All right. So men have to own that. No, they don't. The obsession with body count is just ego protection dressed up as morality. No, it has nothing to do with morality. It's about trust. And women can smell it from a mile away. They can't smell that. Just stop it. My goodness, just shut up already. Men have to ask themselves, if she's choosing you now, if she's loyal now, if she's present now, why does the past matter? It doesn't. Yes, it does. It's just your fear talking. Well, go ahead and get burned, buddy. And fear is a terrible reason to lose a good woman. So you think a good woman is sleeping with 50 guys and not giving a damn about any of them and just breaking up with all of them and just goofing around. So you don't think that you're going to be guy number 51, her 51st failed relationship. Hell, let's lower that number by more than half down. She's been with 20 guys. Maybe add a couple of divorces into the mix. Or maybe just one, or maybe none. Just 20 guys. Just banging it out. You don't have a problem with that. Now, granted, what's your threshold number, right? So you can't blanket statement and say, all the guys, it's about this. No, it's not. For every guy, it's going to be something either similar or different some way, but maybe a little similar. It's going to be a whole gray area when it comes to body count. In the end, it's ultimately your preference, your decision as far as who you think you're getting involved with, versus who you're actually going to most likely be getting involved with. I mean, if you want to gamble your life away with such a woman, go ahead. Now, am I saying that a woman with a high body count history is untrustworthy, that it's not going to work? No. I'm just saying that it's a high gamble. In my point of view, from my perspective, my preference, it's a high gamble. Go ahead and gamble. There's always going to be potential winners. But I'm not a gambler. There's lots of guys, you're asking all men to play the gambling game. Be like, no, you should just trust her. And, she slept with 30 men. You'll be fine. I mean, because of how she is now. So what happened to those 30 guys? How do you think they feel? How many hearts were broken? Are you the next person in line to get yours broken? Like, how stupid can you be? Seriously. You can't blanket statement and say all men are going to be like this. They should be like this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what about a guy who has, violated sexually a bunch of women? Oh, you can trust him now. He's only violated a few women in the past. Like, no, buddy. The women are going to say, no, thanks. I don't want any of that. I don't think so. I don't want to be the next victim in line. You see how stupid you are when you say that stuff? It's just garbage. It really is. A person's history, you better tell them the truth about your history. Potentially spending the rest of your lives together, and then maybe being, unpleasantly surprised in the future with some psycho on your hands, or somebody's going to just dump you and just get the benefits from you because that was their plan all along. Go ahead, go ahead and be a loser and make the same mistakes that all the previous guys did with her, if you want to be stupid about it. But that's all for today. Get access to my free 1-hour video movie by becoming a free member on my website, where you can also become a guest speaker potentially on my show and receive a copy of my free digital book. If it all goes good, Let's Talk About Love is a show. Let me know. Much love, everybody.